for being mayor. It's we got some former mayors out there too. It's not as easy as what, I don't believe it's as easy as what people say. You have to learn to, you have to be able to try to keep the council talking, trying to keep your respect there, have discussions. Yes, my job is to run the council meeting, yes it is. And my job is to okay the agendas. But it's also to go in there and give my city managers my opinion on what I think about things. It's my opinion. I mean, it's my duty as mayor to go out there and talk with the city employees when they're working. It's my duty to get out there and to see how our employees feels about things. Now, go back to the question: is it right? I mean, the way the city's run, what would I change right now? I think that when we have our meetings, we open it up, we do our discussions, we get there, and we do discussions. Every single time there's something, I ask for a discussion. I have done that. You look in there, we do that on an agenda item. Then we ask for a vote, and then I ask again for a discussion. So the fact that it does take 4 people to pass a vote, you're right, it does. But I think being a mayor, you need to be able to be strong, be able to at least give your support your staff during some of the rough times. But if you don't agree with it, don't be afraid that you don't agree with it either.
Okay, I'm going to paraphrase 3 different question cards here because they all more or less touch on the same issue, but I need to boil it down a little bit. So let's do it this way. Raise your hand if you're in favor, and I'm reading from the cards here, so let's see if we can get this right according to how they want it asked. Raise your hand if you're in favor of Chapter 7 and the Development Services Department concept. No. No one wants to tackle that one. All right.
For real?
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand. If you're in favor, they want to know who's in favor regarding the proposed changes in Chapter 7 and the new Development Services Department. So raise of hands if you're in favor. That's how the question is phrased. We'll leave that one alone. Does anyone want to address that issue though? I mean specifically? All right.
Well, Chapter 7,
the reason I asked this is 3 people felt, I mean, we had 3 people in the audience who felt it important enough to ask essentially the same question.
Didn't we deal with that in the original format?
But, no, not really, but the question, you know, is being posed. It's up to you guys. Seriously, at this point, that's why I had trouble trying to phrase it but it is important to understand that 3 people in the audience wanted to essentially ask the same question.
do you like to speak about it, Jeff?
Go ahead.
Okay, I believe that, again, I've already talked to Luis, and we've discussed this already. One of the first things that I've asked for is, at the beginning of an inspection from Chapter 7, is to have a letter that states, I mean, which explains what they do, and that they have a right to deny or say yes for them to go in to inspect. I have asked that and asked that, have I not? Okay. I think it's very important, number one, because it gives the city the right to go or not to go in. And I think people have a personal right to protect the privacy of their places too, so I think that's very important. I don't think that, I think some of these codes are just too strong. And the worst part about the code to me right now, and I've been able to read a lot about this over this last week, is the last part of it. After all the code stages, if somebody does get to that penalty stages, and everybody's concerned about losing their house, you get to a point where it's time for them to lose their house, guess where the choice of losing the house goes to? It goes to the council. Now, I don't understand this. I don't understand why in this code why do we have to accept a code that's technically started off at the United Nations, has worked its way down into America, and has basically everybody in the United States saying that we have to have. We don't have to have everything in these codes. There's things in here that we need to fix, take out.
Okay, Tony, we're gonna have to cut you off. David, do you want to address that, or do you want to speak to it?